Come here. Come on. You do what the I tell you to do. You understand that? Yes. That motherfucking bullshit that you just poured. I'm not no motherfucking boyfriend. You understand what I'm talking about? So you don't fucking goddamn it wave at me, bitch, when you see me. You get the fuck out and acknowledge me, ho. You get the fuck out and you come to me. Now get your motherfucking ass upstairs.
In the documentary about the notorious Pimp from Milwaukee who went by the name Snookie, we dive into the lives of 4 young girls that were working for him. This documentary took place in the 90s, and you see that of the 4 girls, 3 are dark skinned and appear to be 25 and younger in age. And the 4th girl, slightly older, a few years older, and of a lighter complexion, mixed or biracial, and she happens to be the bottom B out of all of his girls. And anyone who's familiar with this film, you get to see the difference in how he treats his girls. Now you may think, well, since they're all working for him, they're all performing X work for money, that the treatment wouldn't vary among the girls, but it did. And I think a lot of people who view the documentary never picked up on that, but you definitely see favoritism. You definitely see how the dark-skinned girls were demeaned and yelled at and threatened a lot more. They were punished a lot more than his bottom B, who happened to be of a lighter complexion. In one scene, you clearly see the bottom B describing her life and talking about how she was treated so well by him, treated like a queen, and all the things he helped her with. Helped her in her family life and organized some of her personal affairs. And she spoke about him almost in a boyfriend-girlfriend manner. Now, she never used those exact words, but you could just tell that the vibe was very different between him, Snookie, and this girl. Now, something that's very common in the P and H0 world is to never tell your girls that you love them, and to never treat them differently from each other, because it can create a lot of jealousy and it can create a lot of fighting, a lot of infighting. But again, you could just tell from how she was describing him. He had given her preferential treatment, or was treating her better than the other 3 girls. In the clip that I displayed at the beginning, you see the severity, you see the harshness, you see the repetitiveness of how he was treating a girl who went by the name Kay. Very sweet young lady. You could tell from her mannerisms and her willingness to obey. She just wanted to make him happy. And that young girl resonated so much. Like I understood her mentality very well, because I used to be the same way. I definitely had my social deficits, social anxieties, like many young people go through. And I had not yet developed a voice for myself to be able to stand up for myself. And even though a part of me was telling me this is wrong to be treated this way, this can't be right. You know, you're sensing that, you're feeling that in your gut. But again, when you're young and you have no support system and you really have no family to turn to, and you have this older guy and his bottom B saying, this is the way, this is what life is, this is what family is, you tend to believe that. And the scene just, it went on for so long. You could tell that there were so many parts in this documentary that had to be edited out because of his just ongoing verbal slaughtering of these young girls. And the colorism was only one aspect of what was shown. Obviously, the young girl Kay, you know, you see her being guided from one car to the next. You see her P saying, go talk to this person, or go get in that car. Right? So he's grilling her. He is really turning her out, trying to get her to serve as many tricks as possible to make every dime he possibly can with her. Sometimes up all night. And again, I know this from firsthand experience. You could just tell he had these young girls on the streets all night. And she just wanted to do her best for him. But just by comparison, who do you think had the higher body count? I mean, it's such a big topic today, right? About how many sexual partners a woman has had in her past, right? Like that determines her value to some men. And so when you see a situation like this where there's young girls being bought and sold, and you see certain girls being worked harder than the other, than the bottom B, it would be easy to conclude that, yeah, the the dark skin HOs would have a higher body count, because it appears that he's working them harder. While the bottom B seems very cozy and comfortable, and she's in the house more often. You see the dark-skinned girls, you also see them occasionally in the house, but it's usually in a directive mode. Like, okay, we're here meeting in this place and you're going to go and do X, Y, and Z and make this money in this way. They get the pep talk inside of the house. While the bottom B, you don't see her in the streets at all working in any clip. You see her sitting cozy inside of the house, giving direction to the other girls. So again, who do you think is making the most money? Who do you think is putting themselves out there more often? Not only to prove their stay, but to try to prove something to him, to their P, to Snookie. Which brings the situation to modern day affairs. Because if we had the P and HO lifestyle running rampant in the 70s, the 80s, throughout the 90s, and even into early 2000, what do you think that would create today? Like, what type of women would they be today? And these were all black women. We hear it very often, the moniker of the angry black woman, sassy black woman, the bitter black woman, the black woman who's always fighting and combative. But we have to ask ourselves, what were their roots? How did they grow up? Who were their influences? Were their fathers around? Were their dads around? Or was much of the black community taken over by drug dealers and P's such as Snookie? So when people today try to make the argument that black women are hard to deal with, that some of us may have attitudes, I think to some degree it would be justified, especially if you grew up within this culture and you're now in your 40s or 50s. You definitely seen or experienced these things. "20 years ago, the nightclubs were saturated with P's who would bring in their girls to show off. And so their girls could knock other girls, could attract more girls into their family. They're family of HOs. And so if you saw this or were exposed to this as much as I was, it was nearly unescapable. Every black female I came across in the 90s either had a P or knew a woman who had a P. It was very, very common. So again, when people try to make the argument that black women are hard to deal with or that we're tough, it's because we have to be. There's no way we could be soft in that type of environment and still survive. If you would like to watch the full-length documentary, check out It's Pimpin' Network at youtube.com. Thanks for watching.